So there's this song from a Yoruba adage which says, ẹni tí ò ṣe bí Alabaru l'Oyingbo kò lè ṣe bí Adegboro lọ́jọ́ ọba. And this literally means to translate that someone who cannot be a laborer in Oyingbo market cannot be famous like Adegboro at Ọjà Ọba. So as Yoruba would always say, ìtàn ló dòwe, meaning it is history that beats proverb. So this is the beautiful story of Adegboro himself, the man whose life and time has been used as Yoruba adage, and it's basically used to caution the younger ones and to educate them on the need to cultivate the spirit of hard work in order to attain greater heights in life. So Adegboro was born in Ibadan, Oyo State. He used to work as a laborer, and at some point he almost considered ending his own life as a result of hardship and no progression. But just like most hardworking, energetic and focused Yoruba youths, he had a second thought and decided to relocate to Lagos to start a new chapter and in search of a greener pasture. But on getting to Lagos, things turned out to be more difficult, unbearable for him, and not the way that he had expected Lagos to be. After all, they say Lagos is a land of opportunity and fortune, and whoever knows his or her way around the city would definitely find the pot of gold. But in the case of Adegboro, Lagos wasn't the way he pictured it to be, as he couldn't get a good job when he arrived, and the starvation was becoming unbearable, so he vowed to go hard rather than go home. So during the first few months in Lagos, Adegboro had issues with everything, including accommodation. Then he began to stay with a friend whom he met at Oyingbo market as a den, whose name was Muibi. Muibi has been in Lagos at least 10 years before Adegboro, and it looked like he knew the in and out of the city. He used to be the one Adegboro runs to for financial help. Meanwhile, it didn't occur to Adegboro that Muibi was a night crawler and a midnight robber who often goes from one house to another to steal their cassava, marble plates and money, and then go to Oyingbo market at daytime to sell them. But not so long, Adegboro discovered, and when he confronted Muibi as to why he was into such business, Muibi would say, "Ole kekere ole bomoje," meaning petty stealing doesn't change a child. And Adegboro would reply him by saying, "Amo kaka kinjali, makuku sheru," meaning I would rather work as a slave instead of me being a thief. Boya kukuku sheru nigba náà, oponu, maybe you should be a slave then, you fool. That was Muibi's last response to Adegboro before they separated and went their different ways as at the time. So Adegboro had to man up and go into the streets to begin his Alabaru work. So in order not to be idle, Adegboro thought about what to do to earn a living. So he started off by working in a local canteen in Oyingbo as at the time. But as the pay wasn't enough for him, he later chose to be a load carrier, Alabaru, at Oyingbo market. He was so hardworking that after some months, he began to look older than his age. And whenever Muibi sees him in a canteen at Oyingbo market, he would always tell him, "Alaru tonje breadi, awori elunje tiomo," meaning a laborer who is eating bread is eating the scalp on his skull. This proverb often gets Adegboro angry, and he made up his mind that he was going to work harder enough to get a mini truck for his ozu. So Adegboro began to save up, and in few years he was able to get a mini truck for his savings, which eased the pain of carrying loads on his head for commercial purpose. The truck also increased the income, and he was able to acquire 6 more of it some years later. This time he wasn't carrying loads on his head anymore, and he already had people under him. And then he started renting out to some people, which was able to bring in more money for him. So 8 years after running the truck pushing business, Adegboro bought a van which a lot of people refers to as Bole Kaja. This van was mostly common vehicle in Lagos as at the time, alongside the van called Tanlese. Then he also learned how to drive, and so he could be able to handle his business by himself. He soon became very rich and famous in Oyingbo market that even his old friend Muibi would come to him for help. So as he began to get older, and as a true son of the soil, Adegboro returned to Ibadan, where he built a magnificent building at Ọjà Ọba. So Adegboro, who was once a slave in Lagos, became a wealthy man in his town due to his hard work, and this paid him in the long run. So many people during this period who approached Adegboro to show them the secrets behind the success, he would simply ask them if they could carry load on their head in the markets to earn an income, but their response is always no. Never. And Adegboro would spontaneously say, "Ẹni tí ò ṣe bí Alabaru l'Oyingbo kò lè ṣe bí Adegboro lọ́jọ́ ọba." He who cannot be a laborer at Oyingbo markets cannot be like Adegboro at Ọjà Ọba. The proverb soon became very popular and a motivation for the younger ones in Ibadan as at the time. And until his death at the age of 72 in Ibadan, Adegboro became a household name and an icon.